If you have friends and family in Springfield, especially if they're on the south side of town, it's worth shooting them a text just saying, hey, do you have power? Do you need to come over to my place? Do you need anything at all? Because we're hearing about 40,000 people without power. What happened today is very similar to what happened kind of exactly 2 months ago on April 29th, where we're expecting almost a routine thunderstorm, and then the worst case scenario develops, and here's a whole lot of people without power. Positive part about that, you do not want to see people without power in the summertime, but thankfully these temperatures are bearable. 68 degrees, the warmest we have throughout the Ozarks is about 71, so you can open your windows, and if you are without power, be able to get some sleep tonight without being too sticky and too hot. We are not completely free of rain chances. I think the worst of it's gone, but we still have a chance to see some more scattered showers, some more rumbles of thunder for tomorrow. We have to push out a cold front. Once we push out this cold front, we're going to get to a very quiet pattern. We're going to have sunshine pour in. It's going to be in the upper 80s. It's not going to be too humid, too sticky. It's going to be nice. It's just getting a front through, and that's not going to be happening until really Monday in that afternoon hour. But this is the radar loop of what happened today. And what we saw is, well, kind of look at these thunderstorms that fired off at 5, 6 a.m. closer to Lake the Ozarks for areas really further off into the east. And that primed the atmosphere for what we saw push through about 4 and 5 o'clock today, where that kind of line of thunderstorms rolled across Springfield, rolled across I-44 and areas further down into the south. That first initial wave that happened at 5 a.m. prepared what happened for about 5 p.m. today. And here are the storm reports with that. Only wind damages. I know tornado sirens were going off in Ozark, and they're going off in Nixa, and they're going off in Branson. There was no tornado today. It was fast winds, about 70 to 80 miles per hour, and you can start to see all the wind reports just cluttering the south side of Springfield. That's the area that got impacted the hardest. Nixa, Ozark, even parts of Branson. You guys got a good licking out of this storm as well, but winds 70 to 80 miles per hour. That's about tornadic wind speeds of what pushed through. And well, here's another issue, is just the amount of rain as well. Springfield picked up almost an inch officially. I know in some pockets people managed to pick up more than 1 inch, but look at Lake of the Ozarks. 4.5 inches of rain. Those were those thunderstorms that fired up about 5, 6 a.m. And I think that estimate, the official measure of 4.5, maybe a little bit lower than some of the radar estimates that we have. That's estimated about 7 or 8 inches in certain pockets. Look closer to Raleigh. Here's another pocket over in Salem that got about 7 or 8 inches. That was with the initial round of thunderstorms that pushed in at 5 or 6. Then that initial round of thunderstorms primed the atmosphere for another round that kind of caused these flash flood warnings to be across parts of Howell County, southern Texas County, parts of Ozark County. So that's what we're seeing at this time. Nearly everyone got rain for today. I think we still have a chance to get some rain for tomorrow. Looking at radar right now, it is quiet. We're not going to get anything throughout tonight. We could have some isolated showers that really form at the start of the day on Monday. I think we really have to wait until we get closer into that afternoon when the cold front starts to push back in. But I can't rule out a chance that you may see a shower that happens off Monday. That's not going to be severe. That's not going to be anything too scary. This is going to be the opportunity for us to get severe storms once we get into Monday in that kind of afternoon and evening hour. You can start to see kind of that cold front as these storms are lining up. They're going to push across really kind of to the southeast. I'm mostly concerned about areas that are kind of right in here, the southeast pocket, areas east of Highway 65. They're going to have more time to warm up. They're going to be a little bit more primed for storms to push in. I think we can get winds about 50 to 60 miles per hour that can create some localized pockets where we can get some rain, and then that moves out and we're quiet for the rest of the week. It's just pushing out this cold front that we have to do. Storm Prediction Center has a marginal risk. That's not a scary risk, but going in today, they only had a marginal risk, and last minute they bumped it up to a slight risk. And I think the main concern we have to deal with is some thunderstorms with winds about 50 to 60 miles per hour for tomorrow. Temperatures tomorrow, pretty similar to what we're going to get, what we had today. We'll climb into those upper 80s with that chance of rain. And then look at the quieter pattern that's going to be coming for us. Tuesday, 87 degrees. That's not going to be too humid, so it actually will feel like 87 degrees. And these rain chances are really going to start to disappear. We may see some pop-up showers and thunderstorms develop on Thursday. I think we avoid rain chances for the 4th of July. I think we avoid it for really this weekend, and that's going to be nice for any Memorial Day. Here's the part that's not going to be as nice. Humidity disappears for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It doesn't get too hot and sticky, but it builds back in time when we get into the 4th of July. So when I pull up the 7-day forecast and we look at it, I got the official 7-day forecast now. I thought I was going to have to use the dry erase board one. Friday is going to be getting a high into the 90. It will feel closer to 100 degrees, if not even hotter. I think that's the case for this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It is going to be hot and sticky over the next couple days. We just got to get through that chance of rain that could be coming in for tomorrow afternoon, Carissa.
You know, I really like the fireworks that were going off on the digital 7-day, but this is what we were going to do.
We were without power for about 5 hours, and I was like, all right, I have to get people a 7-day. Our production team actually helped me drew this up, so not bad for kind of hand work. If we can get it a little bit closer. There's your 7-day forecast right there. This is the first time I've had to do a show with basically no power going into it, so we're kind of winging it. We're trying to get people out of forecast, get information as much as we can. It's been a fun day.
Yeah, one way or another, we're gonna get you your information, you guys, even if we have to write it down on a whiteboard. Because yeah, I mean, I've been here a long time. For the people who don't know, I was the executive producer for a while and a producer. I've had power outages happen before, but not while I'm in an on-air role. So definitely fun having to kind of go back to my roots and help produce a little bit. And we are for sure going to stay on top of everything that we possibly can do. I mean, whenever we, show that off again.
We lost power when the storms moved in, and we said, all right, let's break out the phones. Let's just live stream. I had my phone with radar, and you had your phone doing the live stream, and you would just zoom in on my phone. So we're determined to get information out, even if it doesn't have to be the most professional way, but we figure when things are the worst, that's when people need us the most.
Exactly, yeah, and we don't have to look super nice whenever we do those things. I don't think that you guys care really about that. You just want the information, especially in something like a weather event. So we are here for you, absolutely. Thanks, Matt, and we're gonna be right back after this break.